So some of the most iconic tones and iconic records were recorded on Fender guitars. And those guitars were made out of swamp ash. A lot of them were. Now, why do I bring that up? Because apparently, swamp ash is in serious trouble. I was listening to an interesting podcast yesterday that didn't have anything to do with guitars. And it was actually referencing the shortage of lumber and how prices are going to go through the roof and already have started to, in some cases, rise all the way up 50% from where they were last year. So that got my little head kind of, going here. And I knew that Fender had been in the process of phasing out swamp ash and ash as a whole from their product lines. I read that last year. But as of February 25th, they announced they're just getting rid of it altogether now. So I don't know what to make of that, because there's no wood that sounds just like swamp ash. There's just not. And those are already kind of higher in demand guitars at this point, because some people have already started to catch on to it. The prices are up a little bit, but they're not rocketing. And what I think that this means is, I don't think you should panic if you are interested in one of these guitars, but keep this in mind. The majority of them are apparently, the ones in America, in Mississippi, and they keep losing them yearly. A lot of people are blaming it on climate change, flooding, and apparently there's this crazy new insect that is just ravaging through it that hasn't made its way there yet, but they anticipate it will. Now, with that being said, if you did want an ash guitar, sooner than later is probably going to be ideal, because this isn't something that they can just regrow in a short amount of time. It will probably take them anywhere between 30 to 50 years to develop the actual new, like if they went out of the country or to a new point to grow all of this wood, to actually get it where you could harvest it, and then you got to cure it, and then all that whole process. So swamp ash, I think, is going to get really expensive. And some people that are close to this, I read a quote that actually kind of made my eyes go a little big. They were saying, oh, we wouldn't be surprised if the average player is just not able to afford it in the not so distant future. And is this the end of the world to everybody? No, it's absolutely not. But if you don't have a swamp ash guitar and it's something that you are interested in, maybe keep your eyes a little more open. If you do see a good deal, why don't you check it out? And on the topic of that, I had referenced in a previous video when I was talking about how I feel the neck is the most important part of the guitar, that I think the body of the parts caster, the GFS body, is the only thing holding that guitar back now. So after that information, I was already kind of talking back and forth with Mark Jenny about building a guitar body. And I reached out this morning and I said, what if you did a double bound Taos turquoise, swamp ash, telly body for me? And Matt Jenny got back to me pretty quickly and he said, yeah, let's do it. So he sent me over an invoice and I paid it. So hopefully within, they said, 10 to 14 weeks, I'll have it. So we'll long since been out of California in Florida by then. That's something to look forward to. Just thought I'd share that quick little news update because it was news to me. Maybe you already knew it, or maybe it was news to you and I gave you something else there. But yeah, really busy week, really busy time right now leading up to this move. So I'm going to still, every single day, I'm going to get something out. It's just a promise I've made to myself. I enjoy doing this, but sometimes they might come out a little bit later than I normally like to do it. Just giving you a heads up. If you like what I'm doing, please leave me a like. I really do appreciate it. Subscribe if you have not. Leave me a comment. I had no idea about this wood situation being kind of this dire. But with all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow for another guitar-related video. Take care.